Commanders at the Eagles. Eagles are a 3-point favorite. Dylan, this is kind of an anti-Dylan game as a whole.
Yeah, I hate this game. I hate this game a lot because there are things that the Eagles do right, and I think they're going to have success against the Commanders in certain aspects, but I can't back the Eagles because their head coach is an idiot. And then the Commanders, their defense, I am not bought into, so it's like I can't take them. I might be looking for a player prop, maybe a single game like daily fantasy thing. The Commanders are really bad at stopping the run. They're allowing over 5 yards per rush, the second most, and you're going to take a guy like Saquon Barkley and put him up against this rush defense. I think that's just going to make for a really tough, really long day for the Commanders. Both passing defenses actually pretty good, both allowing less than 200 pass yards per game. The Commanders are awful in the red zone, albeit they are great on fourth down, 11 for 11. It's hard for me to take a side. I would lean the Eagles. As much as I hate to do it, I'm not going to take anything. But just on principle alone, I can't take the Eagles. But Saquon Barkley is going to have a day.
Connor?
Yeah. I'll go here. You touched on it, Dylan. This Washington defense is giving up, 142 rush yards a game. I think Saquon's going to have a field day. And the other side of the ball, the Eagles have actually been okay on defense recently. I know they played the Cowboys with Cooper Rush last game, but as a whole, they entered Week 11, number 6 in EPA allowed per play, and top of the league almost in opponent success rate per snap. I feel like they've started to get good pressure against the blitz, and maybe the blueprint to beat this Commanders team with Jaden Daniels at quarterback is exactly what the Steelers did this past week. Dominate time of possession. The Steelers had the ball for 36 minutes compared to Washington's 24 this past week. Ground and pound. We saw Russell Wilson make plays when he needed to. And I think the Eagles, they can do the same thing. I think if you give Saquon Barkley 25, 30 touches against this Commanders defense, you're gonna come out on top. And Jalen Hurts has been making better throws recently. I know we like to trash on him, but he's actually looked a lot better recently with A.J. Brown back. I love the Eagles in this spot, especially even at Washington. Give me the 3. I love the Eagles to win here.
Ben.
Yeah, I think I like the Eagles as well. We do talk about coaching concerns for the Eagles, specifically Nick Sirianni. I think if that's going to bite them, it's going to bite them in a playoff game against like the Lions or 49ers. Like, I think their coaching will be their demise when they're playing a team that matches them with talent, but has better coaching. You look across both rosters, Jaden Daniels is obviously fantastic. He's going to be a factor at quarterback. He's going to keep the Commanders relevant for as long as he is there. At this stage of things, the Commanders are rebuilding. They're just sort of ahead of this rebuild right now. Like the Eagles, just across their entire rosters, the Eagles just have way more talent. And I think they're finally kind of coming together a little bit. I like the Eagles to win this game by, I'd say, a touchdown. I just think they're the more complete team right now. But if they do lose to Washington, it's because of coaching. But I don't anticipate that happening.
Let me touch on this. We always talk about Jalen Hurts, and he was turning the ball over a ton the first few weeks. He did throw a pick against Dallas, but before that, he had no picks in his last 5 games. Before the Dallas game, his last pick was September 22nd at the Saints. So he's been taking care of the ball more, and that's the thing against this Commanders defense that we always like to talk about. I think the Eagles can get it done on the ground with Barkley and through the air. I have really hesitate saying this, but it might be a sell point on the Commanders for this week. Don't clip that off. I don't want angry fans coming at me, but I like the Eagles here. I'm back.
But big old but here.
Yeah. All right, Quinn.
Kyle Lowry.
Who have the Eagles really beaten outside of the Bengals? And we know what the Bengals defense really is. Outside of that, it's the Browns, it's the Giants, it's the Jaguars, which that somehow was a close game, and it's the Cooper Rush Cowboys. That's who they've played the last 5 weeks. I think
but
that's
they've won. You play who's in front of you. They've won. They've at least looked the part. They've at least looked the part. A
28-23 win over the Jags and a 20-16 win over the Browns.
Okay,
know?
Who does the short week benefit more, though? A rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels or the Eagles?
No, it 100% benefits the Eagles, and I was trying to play devil's advocate here, but I think that's also a great point that I had written down was we talk about the team after they play the Lions, how they react. You know, they get beat up because of a Dan Campbell-like team. What happens after you play the Steelers? And then you
Yep.
gotta play a team like the Eagles on the road right after. That's a tough ask right now. Rookie quarterback going against this Eagles team. I think this is going to be just a fantastic, fun game to watch. I'm super excited. I don't like either side, but I'm with Dylan here. If I had to take a side, I'd lean Eagles, but don't feel super great about it because I think the Eagles have put together 5 meh wins together in a row because I don't particularly think they're this Super Bowl contender. I really don't.
I was shocked with how bad the Commanders are in the red zone. I was not expecting the 26th team in the red zone.
How much of that do you think is Brian Robinson being in and out of the team?
That's more than fair. That's
Because
usually what
we
you're
saw
drawing up in the red zone.
We saw last season Eckler's going 1-2, 1-1 in all these fantasy drafts. Boy, did he stink in the red zone last year with the Chargers, and he stink overall. Yesterday, he got a couple touchdowns, but, I mean, when you're on the 1 yard line, I expect you to score, so whatever.